Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in on the covert narcissist and how to effectively handle the manipulation, the control of the covert narcissist. I had a comment from a viewer, which I found very touching, in which she had suffered and endured a covert narcissist abuse for almost 3 decades. And so, as you can imagine, the lack of representation, the lack of being heard, the lack of others in her family really knowing what she had been through and being able to see it through clear lenses is very devastating. And the covert narcissist, one thing you need to understand in learning how to deal with them is that they abuse without weapons. So whereas the overt narcissist, they might be outwardly, engaging in affairs. They're a little bit more reckless, more promiscuous, things of this nature. Outwardly trying to, they're easier to detect. So, it's people are more apt to maybe, understand that this person could be capable of the types of abuse that they do, the cheating, the siphoning of funds, the embezzling, things of this nature, because they're so outwardly gluttonous. Let's just call it that way. Oftentimes, though, the issue that we find with those who have suffered narcissistic abuse is they often don't feel like they are fairly represented in the relationship, and that others don't see the abuse that is taking place. In other words, the mask that is worn or shared or presented to others in the world is one intact, one of success, one of I'm such a good guy, I'm such a good gal, I provided all these gifts, I provided, a home to live in, I am a great boss. They outwardly present this good guy image to a lot of others, but yet the people who are really intimately related to them and who have been scapegoated, who have been used, who have been targeted as supply, let's get all of our terms straight here, these people know the real deal. They know the real abuse. And oftentimes these people are isolated, separated from the herd, basically like a pecking order, where they pick on the most gentle, the most loving, the most vulnerable, the one who has the biggest heart, the one who is all giving, and all, let's call it the altruistic type, the selfless type, like we described in an earlier video, the Mother Teresa syndrome, the very nurturing mother, a lot of feminine qualities, or the type of male who's been hurt by a covert narcissist, very easygoing guy, not prone to confrontation, things of this nature. So if you have been in this situation and are really wondering how to step up, how to get representation, you absolutely positively do need to step up. You need to be heard, and what you have exposed, you do need to almost get a sense of documentation. You do need to get some things in black and white. You do need to get some things out there so that things aren't misinterpreted. Not saying that, I'm just going to come crashing down on the family and, seem like the crazy psycho person. That's not what I'm suggesting. But, I would definitely make it a point to set some records straight and inform some people involved of the transgressions that have occurred, the violations that have occurred, the lack that has occurred, so that people are edified on this type of person. And whether they want to believe it or not is up to them. However, if you can at least, release the information so that they understand, the cycle of the development, so that they understand what happened, so they're not getting the wrong, masked view set forth by the narcissist, because the narcissist and the psychopath, they will work extremely hard, and they're extremely adept, A-D-E-P-T. They are extremely talented and competent at lying and covering up their lies. I mean, to a degree that they can fool law enforcement, that they can fool psychologists, that they can fool, lie detector tests. These people have a huge capacity for pathological lying. So if they're into presenting this almost airtight web of lies where you're painted in a negative light, look at getting some representation. Look at where things such as a cease and desist might be relevant. Look at where other sorts of abuse to funds, finances, property might have occurred, and at least try to inform other people who are involved, edify them, if you will, on what has occurred, so that they understand with examples, and not in like a flagrant punishing way, but just becoming from a very matter-of-fact, sort of neutral position. You don't want to act out of like desperation and that type of thing, but I would definitely educate the people who are involved, so that you have a voice, you are represented, and they can perhaps begin to open up to you and give you the receptivity and the support and the interfacing, so you do not feel so alone in the process. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please do share, and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.